Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. Yeah.
Good evening, Herb. How are you doing?
My goal is to make every intro now as weird as possible. So you're just
that's
like,
what, hey, that's what we'll do. That's gonna be a recurring theme to make it really, really strange, and we'll just say whatever's on the top of our head.
There you go, man. Oh man, another night. Probably one of our most interesting nights as far as the show goes. Let's say hello to people. See the Wanda Willis, the new member. I think that was for the Bama Standard.
Okay,
so
shout out to Wanda.
Shout out to Wanda. We appreciate you joining Bama Standard. Certainly appreciate you joining in. Thank you very much. You know, the fans make the shows.
Yes.
Roll Tide. What's up,
Big Mike? Big Mike.
Yeah. I think we say it every week, but it's true every week. People will never understand how much Mike does for us behind the scenes, and how grateful we are to that every single week.
He could always be doing a lot more, but he gives us a subpar performance, so we just take it. Just play it, Big Mike.
All right, when the show just like randomly shuts down, everybody, that's Rod's fault. Okay,
I'm just playing. Mike knows I'm joking. No, Mike is a huge part of this show. So we.
And you want to know why he picked me in the debate over you?
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Like that. Okay. What's up, Lady Alpha? Roll Tide.
Shout out to Lady Alpha, aka Lady A.
And the Alpha Pools are in the house. What's up, Kat? How are you doing?
Shout out to Kat.
Hey, Barry, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Barry, appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. So, Herb, you were mentioning that this is going to be an interesting show. What did you mean by that? Please enlighten us.
So, we did our summer series. This is only the second year, so you can't really say, in the whole history of the show, right?
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've ever covered a team without having an expert from that team.
Right.
So, our original person had to drop out last minute, so we hit up. If you guys knew how many people we hit up from Ohio State trying to get
scrambling.
We were scrambling. We even hit up some Michigan people seeing if they knew some. So we did run into some great people. Trey Day from Cinco Squad gave us a lot of good information, and I don't want to get his wrong. Luke from the Tailgate, host of the Tailgate College Football Podcast. He gave us some good information too as well. So that's somebody else. Both those guys were huge helps in getting us notes and stuff. So, I got a big game coming up here in 26 minutes, right? Yep. So,
Brian, what are your predictions for the game? Let us know in the comments.
Yep. And are you surprised the series is 2-2 at this point?
Yeah.
And just because he mentioned basketball, man, shout out to Jason Tatum, man. That's a tough injury.
Very, very
one that's
tough injury.
Probably going to rob your whole next season. That was just tough to watch. So, man, best of luck to you. So
best of luck. Yeah, it's a torn Achilles, so that means he'll most likely be out all next year. If he was able to come back next year, it would be April, May, sometime around there. And then at that point, you're kind of looking at your team like Boston will still have a decent enough team to probably get into the playoffs, but it's like, is it worth it? So to Herb's point, there's a possibility you're out all next season, but we're wishing for a speedy recovery.
Yep, definitely, man. Injuries are tough. I don't even wish Auburn players to get injuries, so you never want to see that.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to say, all right, Brian, enjoy the game.
All right, Brian, appreciate it. Oh yeah, tell Blake congratulations on graduation too. I saw that on Facebook. So kudos to Blake, man. Shout out to Blake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Brian, one of our good buddies, man. A frequent contributor too as well.
Yeah.
All right, so it just feels weird to have a show where we're talking about Ohio State, but we're gonna still stay true to what we were doing.
Right.
And still try to cover it. So, where do you start? So, obviously last year they won the title. We had Trey on here at the beginning of the year. He predicted an undefeated season. So the loss to Oregon was tough.
Yes.
The loss to Michigan. I mean, who loses to Michigan last year? What kind of team, Rob, goes in with superior talents and loses to Michigan?
Superior roster, much better offense, everything, and then you lose to Michigan. Strange.
Real. I like you said, Rob, couldn't be us.
Could not be us. Never.
Right. But you win the title, And to me, Ryan Day was on the hot seat. Fourth loss to Michigan.
Yep.
And with the most expensive roster in football not making it, do you agree they had to win the title for him to keep his job?
I agree 1,000%. You can't lose to your rival 4 times in a row and expect to just keep the job. And the only way, and I think this is something we talked about earlier, was the only way to get over losing to your rival that much is by winning a national championship. He achieved that. At the end of the day, they had one of the best rosters in college football on both sides of the ball. Quarterback play was really, really good. They didn't need, from Will Howard, they did not need a quarterback who's going to throw it 300, 400 yards a game. They just needed somebody that can get the job done. He had good size. He had a good arm. He was accurate enough. Got the job done. Minus the Oregon and minus the Michigan game that you mentioned. But they overall they had a good team, and kudos to Ohio State. They won. I think the big question is, can they repeat? But we'll see.
How would you feel if we lost to Georgia and then we lost to Auburn, but then we won the title?
Winning the title cures everything for me. It would be really, really funny to look back at the regular season and just laugh at that type of stuff.
Blake?
But
appreciate you.
Shout out to Blake, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, looking back at those regular season losses, we would just chuckle at it. But winning the national title just is the ultimate cure for everything. So I'd be okay with it. Are you saying? Are you
Auburn 4 years in a row?
Are you trying to manifest something? Are you saying that this? No, if we lose, we've lost Auburn 6 times in a row, and I live with that. I survived that.
Yeah, but we weren't good either, though. That didn't help.
We were good. Yeah.
There was no title at the end of those years. There was
we
Nick
finally got
Saban
Saban in here. We got Saban in here and changed things up. And I looked at the streak. Alabama owns the longest win streak. The longest win streak is like 9 years in a row. We won. It was. I don't ask me for the years. I just looked it up on Wikipedia one day to make me feel better. No, but losing if our team was to lose to Auburn 4 times in a row, first of all, I don't think Coach DeBoer would be there that long.
Oh my God! If he lost them 4 times in a row when he just got here, no.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
that'd be it for him.
That would be it.
So, but you're right. Winning does cure everything. They did win. So you did have a lot of transition for them this year. So that was it. What was it? 14 players drafted, including 4 in the first round. Lost both of their coordinators. More interesting was what Knowles going to Penn State. I did not see that coming. A guy leaving Ohio State to go to Penn State.
Yeah. Right.
That was strange.
Did we ever find out why? What was it? Was it pay increase? What was the difference?
I think the pay was going to be similar. I think he got a raise, but I think Ohio State could have matched it. There's whenever you do this, you always read stuff, and they're like, oh, some of the things he was a little grating, and he's the kind of guy to go in the office, lock the door, and kind of go madman on the stuff and come out and say, this is it. And maybe the coaches want a little more. I don't know, man. You win a title and you think we got to keep our coordinator. I mean, Alabama fans have been through that for years under the Saban regime. You got to try to keep your quarterback. I mean, keep your coordinators.
Yeah.
That's what. Now for offensive one, I don't. Chip Kelly went to the NFL. You probably couldn't have kept him, but for the or I guess he's saying maybe they're not going to repeat. We've got some. We did talk to a couple of our insiders, and they did give us record predictions. We will go over that at the end of this segment. But Rod, you know how tough that is, losing both your coordinators after a year like this.
Yep. Tough. Your coordinators did an excellent job in guiding you right down the right direction. And you're always hoping to maintain it. But one thing that we, especially as Alabama fans, we know is the more you win, the more attractive those job opportunities come from some of your coordinators. I mean, if they when they see the success over year in and year out, your name's going to pop up for either a head coach or another coordinator position, whether it's in the college football or whether it's in the NFL. And then eventually they're going to bite because everybody wants to take that. Let me rephrase this. A lot of people do want to take the next step to see if they can be a head coach somewhere or a defensive coordinator, whatever the case may be. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. We saw Lane Kiffin bounce around in the SEC, went to USC, the Raiders. He bounced around a lot, and then he finally landed at Ole Miss, and he's doing a good job there. I don't see them winning a natty or anything like that, but he's got a pretty good team, recruited well.
Right. Shots fired at Ole Miss already.
No shots fired, but I'm just saying, Ole Miss is not going to win a national title on our watch. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So. But to get back to the subject, it happened. It happened to us a lot during the Saban era, but you just have to adjust. You have no choice but to adjust and just keep it moving.
What's up, Kelly?
Shout out to Kelly. Thank you for joining us.
Yep. Kelly was posting her picture. She just came back from Vegas. So,
awesome.
She's had a good time. Yeah.
Awesome.
She has a lot of stories that she can't tell anyone. I'm sure.
I got what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So, yeah.
See, Raj. Can you imagine you're an Ole Miss fan? You're watching the Ohio State episode. Like, what is
going on here? And these guys are wearing all this Alabama gear.
What's up, Carol? Our favorite
good evening, Carol. Thank you for joining us.
Good night. So I guess getting back to this though, I think that definitely makes it tough. Plus the losses, the guys that we talked to are still very optimistic on Ohio State. Yep. So this one actually comes from the man who wants to be referred to as our tribal chief, Justin.
Okay.
He texted me. He was like, "Will you guys talk about the quarterback battle?" The guys that we talked to, they say Sayin is the guy. They're like Julian Sayin, it's his job to win or to lose by all accounts, Rod. What do you think?
I was under the impression that it was indubitably Julian Sayin's job.
Why you sound like a Disney villain when you're using
it? Somebody said that indubitably.
I feel like you need like the little curly mustache when you say indubitably.
Indubitably. Yeah. I thought it was Julian Sayin's job to lose, but apparently we contacted somebody else earlier, and there was another gentleman who was actually vying for the position. I guess he's been looking good in spring practice. So that's the word on the street. But
word on the street.
Of course, only time will tell. I'm trying to find the other guy's name.
Lincoln Kienholz.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, Kienholz.
Yep. Sorry and then Tavian St. Clair is
of course
that they've got in there.
Okay, I remember him. And of course, for those who remember, Julian Sayin was a 5-star committed to us, and then he never really got on the field. I know, I had to bring it up. He never got on the field. So so he ended up going to Ohio State, sat behind Will Howard last year. And
not on the field. Remember, he wasn't even here a year. I think by all accounts, it seemed like we ran him off before he even got here, right?
Before he had an opportunity. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But now, again, I still feel like indubitably Julian Sayin, yes, Herb's right every once in a while. I do think it'll be Julian Sayin's job to lose.
Yeah. By all accounts, it doesn't even seem like it's a competition anymore.
Right.
He's looked good. Do you think? I mean, it's hard to tell without us really, really watching him, but. Exactly. What do you think? We always tie this back to Alabama. What do you think if he had kept them around
in Alabama?
Yeah, you probably don't get Russell if you keep him.
That's what I was thinking. I think one of the reasons Russell came here was because he saw a really, really good opportunity to get playing time quickly with a really, really good program and a good offensive mind. Had Julian Sayin been here and the talks were surrounding Julian Sayin more, Russell may have went elsewhere. So, And again, I don't know how good Sayin's going to be. I will be interested to watch them play. That 11 a.m. kickoff game that they have against Texas, and we'll get into that in a second. I'll be interested to see how he plays then.
That's another good one, Raj. Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk about that day.
And I'll be interested to see how Sayin plays. It's always curious to see guys that went to your school and then transfer just to see how they play, just to see what happens. So I'll be interested to see what Julian Sayin does. But I'm glad we have Keelan Russell. We've got a good quarterback room, and I'm very, very excited for Alabama football this fall.
Yep. Got a new check-in. What's up, Trina? Hope you are doing all right.
Trina, thank you for joining us.
From Kendra. Roll Tide. Oh, what's up, Bo?
There he is. Yep. The man with the private jet. Football talk with Bo. Yep. Hey, Bo, let me know right now. What time is the show in the morning? I'm trying to be on time. Let me know. I mean, sometimes you got 8 a.m. Sometimes you start at 8:11 a.m. 8:45 p.m. I don't know. You and Herb got some things going on, so let me know.
Yeah, Bo taking a see. Everybody already knows Bo taking a
break from his yacht. Yep.
I didn't know when it started. Yeah.
Shout out to
Bo. Bo and I are on the show tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's at the same time every Wednesday. Okay. We just have we have one frequent watcher who tunes in whenever they feel like it every Wednesday, and they complain about not knowing what time it started.
Listen. I have to get to work. By the time I said that like it's a lot. I have to get to work. Once I get to work, then I have to go. I have to go make my coffee. I have to speak, then I have to come back to my desk. So depending on when all that happens, that's what I kind of tune in. So sometimes I get there on time, sometimes a little later. It depends. I just don't know when you guys start. You tell me 8 a.m., but sometimes when I get in, you're already talking about George Pickens going to the Cowboys and all this other stuff. So anyway, that's gonna be a topic for tomorrow.
Sorry, it's like 2 a.m. for Bo when we start. I don't know how y'all do it.
Good
8 a.m. is tough enough for me.
Yeah.
So
it's hard.
It's tough. Okay, so quarterback battle, we feel like it's and this was a quote from Trey Day that I wanted to read out. Some are saying he will be in the CJ Stroud level, far as high as Ohio State prospects. So
prospects wise, I guess I can understand that. He just has a lot to prove.
It's about the same.
The thing about Sayin that's going to be a little different. Will Howard was about 6'4", 230. Sayin's a little smaller. Sayin's more like Bryce Young type size. He's about 6 feet 6'1", around 200 pounds. So he's a little smaller there. So with that being said, do you think that's going to affect his connection with Jeremiah Smith at all, or do you think he'll get by not necessarily pretty smoothly, but he'll?
I think the fact that you have maybe let's just say right now he's the best receiver in college football. You do have a new coordinator. Hartline stepping up, although that's on the paper as well from Trey. To me, it's not that tough. Okay, hey, look, when I get in trouble, I'm throwing to that guy. Hey, he's double covered. That's fine. I'm throwing to that guy. And Smith has the build to do the contested catches and to make you look good. So no, if you're saying that, you just rely on that guy. And Ohio State recruits well at the wide receiver position anyway. So I think they'll be fine. But no, you just throw it up to them. They still have Tate. Tate came back, and then Brandon Ennis, I think we saw a little bit of last year. So that's your starters at that position. No, throw it up there. It's not tough, Okay.
So,
she says she'll struggle with pressure because of the size. I just don't think it'll affect his connection with Smith, man. And his size is one reason why DeBoer didn't want to keep him around, So let's just be honest there. So.
Yeah.
And what's up, TJ? Appreciate
What's up, TJ? Man. Thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
My husband is watching The Nanny. I'm distracted.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Got the trooper. We appreciate you always.
Yes.
I don't know, though. Both the guys, they say it's his job to win, and they're kind of bullish on their record, too, still. So maybe they're not as worried about it. So
did you just say they're bullish on their record? That's a first. That's my new saying. That's a first.
Oh,
okay. For those that recently joined us on the Bama Standout Network, Herb and I have been doing the podcast for over 2 years. Every once in a while, Herb will come up and say a word that it is an actual word or it is an actual term, but Herb just decides to just say it on the show to make him look more prestigious than he is. The first one was logjam. I'm familiar with the term.
Stop. No. Logjam make me seem more prestigious? That was just a word.
Look how you just said it. How does logjam make me look more prestigious? I forgot what the second one was. I know you know what it is. That's why you're smiling. It was logjam. It was something else. Now it's more bullish. Gnashing. Was it gnashing? Thank you, Kat.
Gnashing of teeth was this past
Gnashing
Saturday
the teeth.
night.
There you go. Thank you, Kat. So anyway, Herb, continue on. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. See, that logjam is a common word up there. Of course, in Canada. I think it's a common word down here, but somebody was not feeling it at all. So, and that's why we love you, Randy. Appreciate you, man. Georgia Bulldogs podcast tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. He'll be breaking it all down for you.
Yeah.
So, and Trina said we are not her first love.
And the Oilers aren't playing tonight. I would not be her. Gotcha.
Yeah. We would easily schedule a game around an Alabama game. We had to do one during a Alabama basketball game. That was tough enough, but Alabama football game would be impossible. So although we'd love to hear, man, are people interested in live streams of Alabama football games? So that's something we're still playing around.
Let us know.
Yeah, and we have some people behind the scenes who help us make it look too.
It's a bit random, but hey.
I'm poor, so there's no stock market shows. So for me.
All right.
I'll treat you just go shoot down everything I say. No, everything you say is common, Herb. Like, Jesus. You commoner.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess yes was to us doing a live. I don't know if that was a live stream or just saying that you like Rodg better than Herb. which is
Trina. Let us know. Yeah, are y'all anybody in the chat? Like, would y'all be curious or interested in watching a live stream? I think that's something that Herb and I have discussed, and I think we even discussed it with Randy as well. And I could see that happening in the future. But yeah, we're just throwing ideas out there. So let us know how you guys feel.
As we were playing, yeah, that's the toughest one. The first games that we would have been able to do them were tough games, and nobody wants to watch me crying on camera. So, sounds faintly like a content pillar. I'm not sure what he's saying there, though. I'm too dumb. Yeah, I heard the SAT words. No. And she said, she did say yes to liking Raj much better than her.
Okay.
So if everybody ever saw the official count of how many people like Raj more than Herb, it's tough. It's tough out here.
Wait till they see the debate count. Gosh. Well, this is a good point, bro. And someone else has told us. I think Trey said that too. Like, I forgot what game we were referring to, but it would be. I mean, the reaction would get really, really good views. So, I think it is something we'll eventually do. It just depends on the game. I know how Herb feels. He doesn't want to do it when we're playing certain teams. I feel like the Georgia game would be awesome to do it, especially last year. That would have been perfect with the way that game.
No. I watched Chris Haynes do his on the Georgia game, and it was like when we were up, it was tough, and then when they went back up, it was great for him. And then I guess so many highs and lows. So
that game was just a roller coaster of emotions. Yeah, no gnashing there.
You enjoying yourself over there? Are you enjoying yourself over there? So, Kat says she's still Switzerland. Ooh.
Gotcha.
Well, so Raj and I want to go though. When we play at Ohio State, I think that's going to be.
I think that's 2027. I think that's 2027 and 2028 when we have a home and away with Ohio State. So yeah, Herb and I are we're going to try to get to Columbus. I think that'll be awesome.
Trini, you got to pick a side.
Yeah,
everybody's got to pick. And it's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings anymore. It's the count. I think I have maybe 2 votes for me, and there's I think the last time I checked, 227 for Raj and 2 for me. So, yeah, we're definitely what? I don't even remember who the 2 were anymore. Okay, let's try and get back into Ohio State. We get so far off track sometimes.
We did, but it's all good. It's all good.
Smith, what do you think about Smith's realistic chances to win a Heisman?
They're going to be really, really high at the beginning of the season. But as we start to see all these new quarterbacks start to take over the game, when I say new, just Arch Manning, I do consider Arch Manning new because this will be his first year starting. Alabama's quarterback, Ty Simpson or whoever it is, those type of guys. You'll probably have Cade Klubnik, who's not a new quarterback. Those quarterbacks will start to take over as the season transpires. So his name will be up there first couple of weeks, but then midway through the season, it'll kind of jumble up in the middle. But his stats are going to be there. I think his play is going to be there. I don't see him hosting the trophy at the end of the season, though.
Yeah. And it's always tougher for wide receivers. So I don't even remember the last wide receiver to win the Heisman. It's been so long. Like it's been
Smitty of years.
It's wow. The dad jokes, you can tell you got twins, boy. The dad jokes are out in full effect. So
hey man, my kids think I'm like Dave Chappelle. So it's all good to me.
Yep.
He's out there. Yeah.
Arch
I think Nussmeier. I want to say Nussmeier.
Arch, Nussmeier, and Klubnik are all in the top 5 of Heisman odds to start the year. So,
do you think that's crazy to have Arch in there, even though we haven't seen him start a season? Like Nussmeier, we've seen. Cade, we've seen. Arch is he's just going off the name right now.
My thing is, Arch has been there 2 years already and never won the starting job. So it's not like what was he really burning it up in practice? But you guys, even when they substituted him in the Georgia game, they didn't leave him in. So it's a tough one for me to go, Arch should be the leader, even though nothing he's done to this point has been superstar level. So that's just weird. So
and that's going to be a heck of a way to start off the season. That Saturday at 11 a.m. Texas, Ohio State.
Trina missed our joke. We just use that joke a lot, Trina. We're just playing. Of course we know it's Smitty. So that's why the smiles. So of course. So YouTube, how are you, Trina? I'm just curious. Okay. Randy, we put you in touch with Bo if you guys need to talk directly for sure.
Yeah, Randy, we'll connect
or definitely follow each other on Twitter. So both y'all are a good fountain of knowledge to do. So So anyway, back to there. You know what hurts me? There's something on here I don't want to read about Ohio State.
Now I'm curious.
Quite possibly the best offensive and defensive player in the nation.
I heard about that. Jeremiah Smith and
I don't remember the young man's name on defense. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. He's a guy that plays defense. He's been slotted as a top 5 pick. I spilled something on my paper, so I can't read what his name is. But
I've done that before. I completely understand. There's no need to go into depth about it. So I mean, one thing I can say is we'll see the potential again August 30th. That's going to be a huge game for both teams. So, hi.
We are a little down because nobody because our guest did leave us tonight. So we appreciate you mentioning that. So,
thank you for checking on our feelings.
Appreciate that, lady. So that's it. What else he's got on his notes? Matt Patricia takes Knowles' place as DC. He was upset he did get offered an extension before the championship. So as you mentioned, Raj, or I guess maybe he didn't get offered an extension before the championship game. So they think kicking's going to be an issue. Well, we know all about that. So
yes, we've been there before.
We have a good count. I don't remember his name. I was reading a mock draft where he's a top 5, but I just can't remember who it is. So.
I don't know.
Game. I might
Carol.
Dang.
Shots fired from Carol.
That's a good one to go ahead and bring up that's what they're dealing with. That first game, that's going to answer a lot of your questions, man, to start off the year for Ohio State. So
it is. And I mean, when you look at the remaining schedule, the other tough game, I mean, of course there's Michigan, but the other tough game after that is really Penn State.
The
UCLA game should be interesting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, the UCLA game should be terrible. It should still be terrible. I wonder what Bo thinks about at Washington, since Washington made better strides last year than he thought. He thought they'd miss a bowl and they were in there.
Bo, let us know in the comments. Do you see Ohio State and Washington, or I'm sorry, do you see Washington putting up a good fight against Ohio State? Let us know, Bo.
Ohio State versus Texas, I might root against both teams, to be honest.
Why is that?
Know. I don't want Texas to win.
Likewise.
I don't typically root for Big Ten teams, but
especially with Texas mentioning that they're like the standard of the SEC and all that type of stuff. So no, they haven't earned that right yet. So I wouldn't mind seeing them lose, and I wouldn't mind seeing Ohio State lose, to be honest with you. So
I don't know about dog walk. Penn State is, and we'll talk about this in the next segment, ranked a lot higher than what people think. And okay, so let's go. So Trey picked Ohio State 11-1 regular season. He declined to say who the one and loss would be. And then our other buddy Luke, he actually went 10-2 with Ohio State.
He said
losses
Texas
and Penn State. I told him never Penn State, man.
I don't think Penn State.
I will never I will never believe in James Franklin, but that was his too.
I'm just not buying the Drew Aller hype right now. I know there's a lot of there's certain people on that train, but I'm not one of those members. So I don't see them losing to Penn State.
We're talking Ohio State, Texas, and Randy had to make it work at his dogs. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about Pate's top 20 though in a minute.
Yeah,
go ahead, Rob.
No, and then there's always the Ohio State Michigan game, and as we've seen in years past, it doesn't matter how good Ohio State is coming to that game. Anything could happen. We're assuming Bryce Underwood is going to be the starting quarterback, and they'll have Justice Haynes up there too. I'm assuming they'll have a pretty good defense, but that game could go either way.
Yeah, I like Sark with the Alabama connection, but I don't like Texas. So I want them to get knocked down a peg for sure. They've been talking for somebody who didn't win it all last year and didn't win the conference last year. They're just talking a lot. Yeah. You had an easy schedule. You lost to Georgia, just kept beating you around. Wait till your schedule actually gets tougher before we can talk about stuff like that. So this schedule does not look daunting at all.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So you might have already mentioned, what is your prediction? 11-1?
It feels like an 11-1. I'm gonna sit at 10-2 since Randy said that's all I ever pick anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna sit at 10-2, but man, this is you get Texas at home to start off. I don't know, man. I would never pick Penn State. I don't think Wisconsin is ready.
I'm gonna say Texas and Michigan. No. I'm gonna say Michigan. That's it. I think they go 11-1, lose to Michigan.
I mean, it really does, right? If you get by Texas, you're coasting for a while. Like you said, I don't think Washington has improved enough in a year. Minnesota had like one good year 5 years ago, it feels like. So, Grambling State. she's hating on the smaller colleges.
Yeah.
It just looks like an easy schedule. So I would be shocked. I see why Trey picked 11-1. Let me just say that much. So
yeah. Lady, you've never heard of Grambling State, really? One of the premier HBCUs out there, but all right.
I didn't want to tell her she was hating on the HBCUs, but
I know.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah. Yep. So not a bad schedule at all. Like I said, he picked Luke picked 11 or 10-2 and Trey picked 10-2 and 11-1 were the two. Man, I would probably lean more towards 11-1. So it's that's a pretty easy schedule to me. So what are the chances of them repeating then? They get past that?
I think it's slim. It's just really hard to do. Obviously Georgia did it. Georgia did it recently. We've done it a couple times, but I just don't see it. I don't see Ohio State repeating, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I still think they make the playoff. I think they get there, maybe win the first game and lose the second.
We're with you, Randy.
Randy, we got you.
Yeah. And that's a who had the emoji for it? Yeah. That's just you expand the Big Ten and get all these teams in there. And that's the schedule you still come up with. That's crazy to me. So
yeah.
Alrighty. So Raj, you put a capper on the Ohio State, still got a lot of talent. They're gonna go through a shift with the coordinators gone, but we'll see what happens with them, man. So we do a couple of people reach out, and shout out to the Ohio State people, even the ones that couldn't come on last minute, just for being gracious and for helping us with notes,
with some
and
content,
trying to find
some knowledge.
people. So we appreciate
that. Yeah, because when our original person wasn't able to make it, Herb and I had to scramble and just kind of figure out some stuff. So we were able to get some knowledge and some content in here to kind of give to the people and give to the followers. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Randy, I probably want to make an official prediction. Oh, so Rod, talk about that day, I guess.
Yeah.
That's an 11 a.m. game, or I guess
so
12 o'clock game.
Yep, today we got some more times for some of the games on August 30th. So Texas and Ohio State are going to be at 11 a.m. We're going to be playing Florida State at 2:30. Then the night game, I think at 6:30, is LSU Clemson. So that whole day will be packed. Herb and I were excited to hear the news, so we can kind of, depending on where we'll be and how hydrated we'll be able to watch some of the games and not sure where.
Wait. To that point, we have already been warned by people
it's going to be hot. It's going to be
care
hot.
About us a lot. We better get out there and stay hydrated with that kickoff. So we will
it's
try
going to be
our
hot
best.
in Tallahassee. I looked last year, I think the high was 93, 94. Low was 70 something. So I'm expecting it to be the same this year. So we'll stay hydrated and plenty of water, definitely. So
not like Saturday night hydrated.
Yeah, not Saturday night hydrated.
Yeah, on this one, it was. So let's say this. We've been lucky in the 2 years of doing lots of guests and stuff. This is the first one where we had someone who just totally couldn't come in and couldn't find somebody else. And then, with the move up, with where we're streaming on extra places, it's a little harder to switch stuff up last minute. But yeah, this one was tough because ordinarily in the past, I think we would have just switched the whole thing. But we already do that 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
There's a certain part of the certain demographic that always seems to cancel on us. Yep. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
We are looking forward to it. We're going to be in Tallahassee, so we're gonna try and figure out where to go and where to be to watch all these extra games, around our games. So, yes, you evaporate if you hydrate too much. So.
Yes.
Rod, you had an interesting comment in there that should makes for a little bit of fun. You think Ole Miss can never ever win a title?
I didn't. Okay, let me say this. I don't think they'll win a. Oh gosh!
It just seems like a fun thing to talk about. in the middle of the Ohio State.
Serious?
In the middle of the Ohio State episode.
You stink, man. You really stink.
I showered before the show. I promise.
You indubitably stink. All right, let's get this over. Let's get this mess over with. I didn't even say they're never going to win a title.
Yes, you did. I believe those were your words.
Oh. All right.
I've never seen somebody so stressed about a debate that he gets to come up with, and you get to pick your side first.
Okay. If I pick the side first, I get to rephrase the debate then.
Wow.
I don't think Ole Miss will win a national title within the next 10 years. Starting with 2025, Ole Miss will not win a national title within the 10 years. That's just my guess. I feel like their team was the past 2 years, they've had a pretty good quarterback, pretty good recruiting class with Jackson Dart and everybody else, and they weren't able to get it done. Didn't make the playoff last year. Didn't make the playoff the year before. So I just don't know if we're going to see another recruiting class like that in Ole Miss with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. And I honestly don't know how long Lane Kiffin will be there. So that's what I'm going off of, and I feel confident about what I just said. This debate really snuck up on me just like the previous 50 did, and I'm not going to win, and I'm proud of that.
Golly.
You've created someone in the wall jam.
There's a good point over there about can they win with Lane or not. But I'll say this.
Right.
To me, once you start moving up in the SEC, you always have a shot, right? They were one game away from making the playoffs last year. Lane has proven that he, whether or not his recruiting class is good, they're going to spend money and get him a good transfer portal class. And as we've seen in the past, sometimes it only takes that one good year, but really you just got to get to the playoffs. So
that's true.
To me, Ole Miss will always have a shot. Now, will Lane stay out of his own way? I don't know how long I can predict that he'll do that.
Will Lane stay out of his own lane?
Out of his own way. Fool.
No, I just changed it up.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Lane needs to get a new lane for sure. But at some point, you would think if he would try to be more of a head coach and maybe stop play calling and let someone else take over that full time, I'd probably trust him more. But Ole Miss is going to have the talent, and the schedule will probably work their ways in several times. And once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. So does Ole Miss have a shot? Yes.
So no. Do you think Ole Miss will win in the next 10 years a national championship?
For purposes of this debate, I'm going to say yes, because I want to win the debate.
But you don't really believe that, though. You just said for the purpose.
I wholeheartely, I'm 1,000% behind Ole Miss winning a title in the next 10 years.
Oh, my gosh. You just lied. Go ahead. Get it over with.
Okay.
Who is it?
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching the Herb N Rodg Podcast.
You got to be kidding.
Another great debate. And I get to be the judge. Rod, you're my best friend, and I'll never let you down.
Yes, you will.
Except for tonight. Herb, you're the winner. Congratulations.
You turned Mike on me, and you turned my best friend on me? Wow. Wow. So, Big Mike, let me know in the comments. He turned you on me, and he turned my best friend on me. Who would he be in wrestling terms? Like, what type of heel does he represent in wrestling terms?
Check out the score, Raj.
I don't want to check out the score. I see it every week. Oh man, I'm definitely calling Carlton tonight. Thanks a lot, C, for nothing.
But this is how you know it's not rigged. These are your friends now picking stuff. The head of the RFC and your best friend. Wow. I feel like that's.
Thank you, Trina. You clicked off my comment, really? But if they turn right, can you really say best? That's my best friend, Randy. That's Carlton and I have been through thick and thin. That's my guy. He's an Auburn fan. He's a diehard Auburn fan, but we're still best friends. So.
Maybe it's time to look inward. What's up, Jay Bates?
Wow, Mike. That sounds like I've been laying down on the couch and someone just told me in a therapy session, and I can just see Mike telling me that. Mike, I can see Mike wearing like a polo, like a sweater vest with some glasses on. Like, well, Raj, maybe it's you.
Trent, I had nothing to do with this. I just did the debate. So look, I don't pick the debate topics. I don't pick the debate judges.
You don't pick the debate.
No, you say stuff and we debate.
Title towel. Who picks the debate topics? Herb does. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't even. Oh, by the way, I always forget that every week, especially on the Family Standard. Shout out to Title Towel, man. Head over to Whitwheel Sports. Get you your title towel today. And I've always said this, man. It holds true. First person that sees us in Tallahassee and like recognize from the show, if you don't have a title towel, you're getting one.
Yep.
So I will carry an extra one with me. We will make sure that you get one. So shout out to Title Towel. Shout out to Alabama fans, man. Join us. Grab one.
Yes.
Well, I didn't turn anybody though. I had not.
It's okay, Trina. I'm gonna call C when we get off this. I'm gonna call. I might call him. No, I'm gonna make him wait.
You said you took a shot at him earlier tonight, Ron. So
I was joking, Mike. I was joking. Oh man.
I just feel like
Mike. Who is in wrestling terms? Who is Herb? Since he turned these people on me.
Like Paul Heyman.
Is it Paul Heyman? All right.
I don't know. Mike will know better than me. I feel like I was innocent in the whole thing.
Okay. Whatever it is. No takey back. Oh, okay. Randy. Randy's hosting a seminar. I hope you don't say this on your seminar. No takey backsies. All right. Paul Heyman. All right. We got you. Okay.
All right, Raj. He'll be carrying cross, influencing people behind the scenes.
He will be carrying. Okay.
I see that on there. Indianapolis just won. The Pacers knocked out Cleveland.
The Cavaliers lost. Yeah, Pacers won in 5 games. We'll probably go.
You might have an old school New York, Indiana in the second round.
Yep.
In the conference finals. So interesting. All right, Raj. Raj just released a video on this, so we'll get to check out part of this. But we did the video because we weren't sure how much time we would have to slide this in. But because, like I said, with the guest not being able to attend or show or whatever, we got to do this. So, Raj, what are your initial thoughts when you saw this with this ranking?
Initial thoughts is you're going to see a lot of mixes of returning quarterbacks and new quarterbacks. Obviously, we already spoke about Cade Klubnik earlier. He's primed to have a really, really good season with Clemson. Arch Manning with Texas, and then again, I mentioned earlier, Drew Aller's supposed to be the big guy, have a big season at Penn State. What did Jay Bates say? Josh Payton needs to be drugged. Obviously, with Alabama, it depends on we're thinking it's going to be Ty Simpson to start off the season. Hopefully, he has a good season. He's got all the weapons around for success.
Can we start there? There's just no way we should be 4th to rank to start the season, though.
But this is his post-spring rankings. This has nothing to do with last year.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
So are you saying that because you don't want the hype to kind of the rat poison, or what is it? The DeBoer, what did we name it? The Husky droppings?
We don't want the Husky droppings to.
You don't want the Husky droppings to kind of surround the program. Okay, where do you think Alabama should be?
11th.
That's where Georgia is.
That's fine. We can switch.
So you think Georgia should be number 4? Okay.
I would definitely, and I know, like you said, it's just post-spring and didn't have a lot to do with last year, but I'm not putting Florida at 9, just off the jump.
I'm not, yeah.
Clemson at 1 is tough for me. If you did this list, though, like it is right now, I'd probably still slide LSU down. Just because you got good Nussmeier and bad Nussmeier. And I always show a little more love, I guess, to returning champs. So Ohio State, I'd probably have higher.
I'm with Mike on this one. I was surprised OU's at 10. Are they looking that good on offense? I mean,
well, because they got a whole nother quarterback and running back from was it from Cal or something? They got from the same team.
Yeah.
So that's this paid.
I mean, it's interesting. Even Georgia Tech at 17.
I think so that's.
Cat.
He just said he just wants a little bit of it. So.
I think to Randy's point, Pate could have just been posting this for engagement, and obviously he got a lot because we're talking about it. So it's interesting. I'm so curious about Oregon's Oregon's quarterback situation too. This is a lot of unknown on this chart on this
Now,
these rankings.
I'll say this about Clemson. I think they have an excellent chance to win the ACC. So that puts you in the playoffs. I don't know if that makes you the number one overall team, but and we'll talk about them later on. But there's a good chance that they just run through the ACC and maybe they end up number one. But that's just tough.
I think that's Josh Pate's way of saying that he thinks Cade Klubnik's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the country because we know he can do.
Yeah. Pate uses his own kind of rankings that have nothing to do with like top 25. They have to do with other stuff. So for sure.
Yep. Interesting.
Nobody believes that, Randy. Nobody. I'll never say 15. I give respect to Kirby Smart in that defense. I think they'll figure it out. I think it'll be kind of the opposite of what you said or how you thought it was going to be last year. You thought the offense would be ahead of the defense. When Kirby Smart, the defense is always going to be ahead. But you say that for a lot of teams. I think that for Alabama too, from what I've seen. I love our depth on offense, but I think our defense is still way ahead of them so far, just from a little bit I've seen. So. This one I'm not surprised at, honestly, anymore. ESPN just released their top 25 too early breakdown, and they have Penn State at number 1. People are high on Drew Aller.
Yep.
So Penn. Let me just give the top 5 to this real quick.
Those people do not include Herb and I.
Say what?
Those people do not include Herb and I.
No.
As far as Drew Aller. Yeah.
So Penn State number 1, Clemson number 2, Texas number 3, Georgia number 4, Ohio State number 5. Is what their ranking is.
Where is Bama at?
9th.
Okay.
But as far as the SEC, you got LSU number 6, Notre Dame 7, Oregon 8, Alabama 9. So we'd be behind. We'd be 4th in the SEC according to this ranking. So
I think on Josh Pate's, South Carolina should be a lot higher.
Yeah, I agree. And we got to get a South Carolina person on here because we really got to talk about that.
Yes. That's
so Illinois is 11 in ESPN's, and South Carolina is 13th.
What's brewing in Illinois? What am I missing there? They're
I don't think anything. I don't think that, and they got to play Ohio State, right? I mean, you're 10-3 last year, 6-3 Big Ten. Several good returning players, I guess, and some key portal additions, but it's still Illinois to me. So I have to see that when I see it. But other than that, like this list is it's interesting to say the least. So, but I don't most just feel comfortable switching out Alabama and Georgia on this list. But then I can't have Florida at 9 and Oklahoma at 10. So scratch.
Right. That's
I
strange.
can't do that. Yeah. And then whatever you're saying, like your offense was really, really bad, but we're just gonna get 2 guys in from the transfer and that's gonna fix it. Like I just don't go with that, So Trina, like I said, ESPN has Illinois even higher. So it's not just Pate. So that's something that other people are going with as well. So Rod, what else could, and by the way, like after the top 10, I'm just not, I feel like it's just kind of a mess. So I don't really think that much about it. So what do you think, Raj? What else you got going on with this list? On
Josh Pate's?
Yeah.
Just the last couple of guys. I mean, Texas Tech at 20 is interesting. I think there's a big question mark with Bryce Underwood at 19 in Michigan because we know what, as far as financially what he did as far as NIL to get there, but we have no idea what type of quarterback he's going to be. They also got, obviously, Justice Haynes is there now. So offensively, they should be a step ahead of where they were last year. And defensively, Michigan usually has a pretty good program. Obviously, their coach is going to miss 2 games due to the stuff that happened a couple years ago.
But not even the first 2 games. They're like, we're just going to pick 2 games.
They just, that's funny. Just pick 2 games. So he looked at the schedule and said, okay, I don't need to be here for these 2 games. So I'll do something for those days.
What if you're the coaches of the other 2 teams and they're like, oh, so you
take that as a sign of disrespect. You say, like how much money are y'all going to pay us to come? I want some more money if you're not going to be there. Give me some more money.
This, I think, is an excellent comment. The first 12 on a big, you could.
That's true. And that's a good point, Randy. And we're not going to know a lot about the first top 10, 12, 15, first 10 to 12 teams until the season starts, until we see the quarterback play, and until we kind of see what's going on with a lot of these guys. Maybe with the exception of Clemson and Penn State, but a lot of these teams, we're not going to know anything. Yeah. Big thing about Florida at 9, again, DJ Lagway has to stay healthy the entire year, and I think they can have a pretty good season. They still have
and they could do what?
they can go a long way. Lagway can take them a long way.
Yeah, Kat, this is one reason why we like in with other teams. We want to hear what the people are actually watching them say because from far away, I have no idea about any of this. There's certain teams like Penn State I will always devalue. I'm sorry, just it is. Clemson, like I said, you're propped up because the ACC. I get it. Notre Dame, we never really want to believe in you, even though you ran a run to the title last year. So there's just certain teams that I'll be biased against. You can never trust what I say about it. So apparently I'm the Karrion Cross or Paul Heyman of the show. So
Paul Heyman, I like that.
All I do is influence people for evil.
All right. Wow.
Okay. Well, it's nice that Raj also has a short that we're releasing too, where he talks a little bit about it as well. So check that out. Like I said, it's good fodder to help you get through an episode when your guest isn't here. But in the end,
what?
That's a regular word. These are not even tough words.
Everybody in the comments, let me know how often you use the word fodder. I know what fodder means. I know what it means. Just let me know how often you use that word or how often do you hear it. Herb just said it like it was the word the. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Except Illinois got a real good portal quarterback.
Gotcha.
That was, but it says Altmaier was also returning though, as far as their quarterback. So, like I said, that's one of those teams I haven't looked as much about, so I have to go. Yeah. Every time I use my dad. She's laughing at you. I use it a lot, but then I'm a writer. See?
Thank you, Carol.
Tons of conference game all cannot be the same. I use fodder several times a week. I see what I just type over there. I told you Trina was going to be that one to tell you. She just be shooting me down on my words.
I'm not surprised that Randy said off, but I'm not surprised at that one at all.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Thank you, Carol. Carol's got your back, Raj.
Thank you, Carol. Appreciate you.
So, all right, Raj, the last little bit of subject we wanted to throw in there. We looked it up. The debate, the date is to withdraw from the NBA draft.
Yes,
June
the 15th.
It used to be you couldn't hire an agent and you could go back. But now you already have an agent because you're in college.
Yeah,
that just seems dumb. So the person that we're watching, LeBaron Philon,
yes.
We've been watching mock drafts. I saw CBS Sports one the other day, or Tim Pay said I heard father.
No.
Instead of honor. What was that? We looked at an ESPN draft, mock draft, and a CBS one. CBS Sports had him going like late first round to the Celtics. Get your JD Davidson, which, by the way, that spot becomes more interesting because Tatum is out.
Yep.
I was reading an article today where they talked about you'll get more young guys getting a chance to play. So you're going to see more of that.
Yeah.
So
more playing time.
That's one thing. Yeah, more playing time. So that'd be interesting if he goes there. Mark Sears was not on either one of the mock drafts that I've seen. I've never seen him in the first round on any draft. And in this, or maybe she's just saying, did we see him at the camp? No, we didn't see him at the camp. But on the 2-round mock draft that we just saw, he wasn't on that either. And that's actually pretty consistent. So, I get his accuracy, but he is not on draft boards and he's not on a lot of teams' radars. So, Philon, the last one we saw, he was in the second round. Round. So he's got an interesting decision to make if he plays himself into the first round. I just don't see him going. I've never seen him moving past 20. You know what I mean? So is he willing to stay in the draft to be drafted late to a team that's good and might not give him developmental time early on? So
I think if he stays in the draft, he would get lucky to get late in the first round. I was hoping he would come out of the draft, come back to school for one more year, and then be a guaranteed first round pick. So we'll see what happens over the next few days. And what was the date again that they can withdraw? June
You said what now? Oh, June 15th?
June 15th. So he's got some time. But I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with going to camps and combines and workouts and things like that and getting some feedback and letting some teams tell you, this is what we would do, blah, 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 blah. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I do hope he comes back for one more year.
Oh, Trina finally, she agreed with Raj the first time. She hasn't agreed with anything I've said. That's a vote for Raj.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Trina. I appreciate your support.
Yeah. And he's definitely not. So I just think Nelson at his size and stuff is just going to have a tough time.
Yeah.
With that. So I hope so. But like I said, Sears has consistently been either second round or not drafted. So it's going to be tough for him to break through. Phylon has the biggest chance to be a mover in this one. So
yes.
It's hard for me to see Randy cussing.
Hey, man, if we all do a live stream, Georgia, Alabama, it could happen. It's very, very possible. So let's even adding more fuel to the fire for us to do a live stream. So we got to figure that out.
There you go. We'll have to make that happen. So
yeah, no problem.
All right, but anyway, whatever happens with Phylon, wish him the best. Obviously, it's a selfish reason we want him to come back. So but whatever he does, I just hope he makes the right decision. And phenomenal player would help us out. So
yeah.
So biscuits.
What in the wide blue jumping Bigfoot trucks is going on here? What? Oh my goodness!
You know you're going to use that one.
I'm going to try to use that if I remember it. Yeah, Randy text that to me, and I'll start using that in my everyday. I'm going to say that at work just for the heck of it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What you got?
Got you 2 questions for tonight.
Bring it on.
For Herb. Trying to see which one I'm going to do. Okay, I'll give you the first one. Work, play, live, ditch. For those that don't know, I'm going to give Herb 4 names. He needs to tell me who he'd want as his coworker, who he would want as his neighbor, somebody he would want to hang out with. And the 4th person ditch, this is someone, if they contact you on the weekend or whatever day it may be, you're probably going to ignore them because you just don't feel like dealing with them.
Dang.
So, Alabama wide receiver edition. 4 names. Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, a.k.a. the Germinator, Isaiah Horton, and a new upcomer, Latia Brooks.
So, I thought I knew what I was going to say, and now I want to change my answer, I think. So,
okay.
Because I know the least about him, I'm going to have to ditch Brooks. Don't know as much about him. Gonna have to let that one go to voicemail.
Okay.
Sorry, bud. Love you, man. Maybe next year. My favorite one of these guys is Horton. So I think I'm gonna use him as either the roommate or live next to, just so we can hang out and I can be around. Yeah, neighbor. So like, what's up, man? Horton is my favorite guy. So that's where we're going with that. So
yeah.
Me and Germ, we got to work together. He just seems like one of those never flashy, never spectacular kind of guys, but very steady. Like he'll always be there on time to work. He will always have all his reports done. You know, he'll fill out everything. And initially I was going to ditch Hollywood because he's so young, but he's going to attract a lot of people around.
People?
Just people, just regular, random, people. And I wouldn't mind being around to converse with some of those people.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He said,
Mike,
we're going to the clubs where a guy like him always gets in. So we're good. Plus I'm old. I don't really need to be out past 9 anyway. So this kind of works with his age and my age that we can.
Do you get the joke that Mike's throwing? I forgot the song. Mike, give me the song reference.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You see the songs I send you in the trap.
Yeah.
He probably gets all the attention. Cassie, I'm used to that. If you guys ever see who I work with or hang out with Raj or hanging out with Big Mike, I'm not the guy that gets this attention. I just settle. Like if 10 people come over, 8 people will love you guys. The 2 people that are hanging out around them, I'll talk to those 2 people.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
Oh my goodness, Kat.
She loves Alvin Kamara. Goodness gracious. Kat, we'll have to get Alvin Kamara on the show so that you guys can meet or something like that. We'll figure it out. All right, you ready for question number 2?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. So let's just say for our podcast next Tuesday, something happens and I can't make it at last second, or not last second, but I can't make it. You find out Tuesday morning.
Oh, man.
And prior to me not making it, you and I have already discussed that the topics for that show would be primarily SEC football, then 30 minutes of NBA playoff talk. If I can't make it, out of these 4 names, who would you want to replace me? And keep in mind, SEC football, NBA talk. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Charles Barkley, or Josh Pate?
On that list, I got to go Josh Pate. But it was like.
But that's why I told you we're talking about NBA talk too. So
that's fine.
Okay.
I would rather talk with him without knowing anything. Like, okay, Stephen A is eliminated. So that's not happening.
I like Stephen A.
Man,
I like Stephen A.
arrogant. I'm not about to have somebody yelling at me over this because I want to punch him in his nose. So no Stephen A.
Okay.
He's gone. Charles won't know half of the stuff we talk about. I saw this man call somebody the wrong name in the middle of an interview, and dude be like, "That's not who I am." You know
that makes for good views.
I mean, it would make for good views. And if we were talking NBA, he might know half of it, but he'd be lost in the college football part for sure.
What about Skip Bayless?
Come on, man. file that under the not even a consideration part.
Okay.
So
you're leaning towards Josh
I feel like
Pate.
Yeah, because he would have interesting college stuff, and then they'd be like, all right, you got 30 minutes for this and 30 minutes. But look at our show, Raj. I could easily do the college football for an hour or 55 minutes and give NBA 5 minutes and be like, oh, sorry guys, we messed it up. So definitely go on there. So
all right, cool. All right. You survived.
There we go. So there was your answer, Raj. Look at me now, Chris Brown.
Look at me now. There you go. Look at me now. All right.
We gotta make these two meet one day.
Yes, we will. We'll figure it out.
Yep. Agreed. Like I said, I can't do the Stephen A thing. So
I love Stephen A. I love him. I love Barkley. I don't like Skip Bayless.
Yep.
I love Josh Pate. We got huge love for Josh Pate. So
yep. Yeah, they're all trick questions at the end, man. You always got to be careful. So Katrina said if I wasn't here, she would join you, Raj.
Awesome. Awesome.
So, all right. Appreciate everybody for sitting in. We're going to try to make sure I have our guests. Our guests is of a different demographic, so we think that they will be here next week. So we
have already reached out to the guest today, and this guest has told us that this guest will be here next Tuesday. So hopefully the guest will make it next Tuesday.
Yes. So we got Kentucky coming up. Like I said, the bet is on how much football that we actually talk with them, and does it transition to basketball really quickly. Yeah. Then LSU will end the month. Then I forget what we're doing the first week of next month. Some stupid, I think. And then the week after that, we've got Texas coming up. So we've got some good stuff planned with the rest of this. Hoping to have some fun. Wow, Randy has already sent you the text with the phrase.
I know, I got it. I got it. Now I just have to memorize it. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's the new bit. No show Tuesdays.
No show Tuesdays.
All right, Rod. First off, appreciate the comments. You guys help us get through the show.
You so much.
Special nights like this. Thank you. So join us next week for an hour. But I'm hoping to appreciate you, Bake. I am hoping.
Thank you, Jay Bake.
To at least get some football in there, but we'll see.
We will.
Trina, appreciate you stopping by. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Trina. Thank you, Kat.
Roll Toad and Roll Tide. She was thinking a little bit too much about Kamara, and she just Raj. I want to say you're the best brother ever, but you're kind of the brother I was stuck with, so I appreciate you anyway, man.
Thanks a lot, Herbert. Yeah.
Now, Lady Alpha, looking forward to your team.
Thank you, Lady Alpha.
Call, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Everybody, y'all have a great night. Wonderful night. Thank you for Carlton being our special guest.
Yes. I'll have a talk with him tomorrow. Yeah.
Roll Tide, everybody. Have a good night.
Roll Tide. Good night.